Special Olympics track and field athletes. Today's practice, we're going to work on running in lanes on a straight and on a curve. So make sure that you have warmed up with your walk, your dynamic exercises, and that you're ready to go, and make sure you have water with you today. So I have drawn a set of different lines on my driveway. You could do this, I use chalk. You could do it with rope if you wanted to put that on the ground that you moved around. However you want to make a lane happen in a space. If you happen to live close to or have a track nearby that you could bring either a parent or a caregiver or a friend with you to the track, as long as you're keeping social distancing, you could practice this on a track as well. I don't have a track nearby, so I'm going to use my driveway, and you could use this. You could do the same thing at home. So the first thing we're going to practice is staying in lanes on a straight. I'm going to go through my straightaway 3 times, and I'm just going to practice staying in the middle of my lane and focusing ahead. So the straightaway on my track, my lines are pink. Many tracks have different colored lines depending upon what the race is. So my straightaway is pink. I'm focusing ahead at the end of my lane and running. The goal is to stay straight and in the middle. And try it one more time. So I did that 3 times. You could do 3 to 5 times. Now, we only run straight in the 100 and the 50. All the other races on the track involve running into a curve and running out of a curve. So we're going to practice that next. The lines on the track that I'm going to be following are green, and I'm going to first practice running into the curve. So I'm going to do that 3 times again. So I'm starting on a straight and I'm heading into the curve. When you're going around the curve, your outside arm is going to work a little bit harder. You don't want to bend, but you want to lean a little bit into the curve. Now my corner is much tighter than it would be on a track, but it still gives me the same feeling. The idea here again, stay in your lane without watching your feet. You want to watch ahead. Time. Now, in the 200, what happens is you go into the turn, and then as you come out of the turn, you're heading to the finish line. So what you want to do is use your momentum in the turn to actually accelerate to the finish line. Same thing in the 400. So I'm going to start at the beginning of my curve for this one, and I'm going to run out of the curve. So in that case, you are curved using your outside arm coming around the bend, and then as we're going straight, we're straightening up and heading for the finish line. Let's try that 2 more times. And again, you want to make sure you're focused ahead and not on your feet. Focus on the head on the lane. So the next thing we're going to practice and try is starting on a straight. And this is something that happens again in the 100 and the 50. And the idea is not to focus right in front of you, but to focus ahead on your lane. So Brad's going to give me the mark, set, go. And I'm just going to use my pink lane here, and I'm going to start this way.
On your mark, get set, go.
Again, focusing. This is about 3, 4, 5 meters, and I'm focusing just to the end of my lane. Not all the way and not straight down.
On your mark, get set, go.
One more time.
On your mark, get set, go.
Now the other area where you have to stay in your lane is on the curve. And many races, the 200, the 200, the 400, the 800 start on a curve where you're usually going straight and then you have to turn right away, or sometimes your lane is already bending right from the start. So we're going to practice starting on a curve, leaning into that curve, and I have actually drawn a big curve for this particular practice. So going all the way around the corner on this one. Okay. Brad's going to tell me when to go.
On your mark, get set, go.
Now I have purposefully drawn my lines in all different colors and made them cross over, because that's what happens on the track. The trick is to focus ahead, not down on the lines, because that's where we tend to get confused. So let's try that a couple more times. I'm going to move just a bit further ahead on the curve. It's good to start in different places.
On your mark, get set, go.
Last time I'm going to start on just the beginning of the curve, and then I have to go into it and finish.
On your mark, get set, go.
So there are some examples of practicing staying in lanes. You could run through each of those different types of situations 3 or 4 or 5 times. Make sure that you do your cool down when you finish up your practice, and make sure you grab a drink as you need it. All right, athletes, thank you so much. Next week will be our last practice. We're going to do a little track meet. So just to let you know, so in case you're planning your summer, have a great week. I say 1, 2, 3. You say team. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Team!